You gotta be hard. You gotta harden your soul and heart, and you gotta not let anyone in, and certainly don't let anyone out. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody says anything that's heavy, that requires work, you get out of there.
You get out of there. Yep. Oh, well, here we are.
I'm tangled. I'm too stupid to figure my way out.
Oh, the webs we weave, Austin. I'm tangled as well.
We're having this like deep conversation, and you immediately think I'm being philosophical. Oh, Austin, I know we're all tangled somehow.
Yeah, we all get tangled up in this thing called life every now and then.
Man, we should have an episode where we both chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, that's good.
And the entire episode, everybody has to tolerate just
Why can't it be this one? You have gum right there.
I don't know. I'm tempted. What do you think, Jamie?
Maybe halfway.
Really spice this up.
Maybe halfway through we pop in.
Yeah, we just suddenly do that.
Or final 15 minutes, we'll chew gum.
Yeah, if we remember. Just to really irritate people.
But I don't want to do it the whole time.
I don't want people to be comfortable all the time and just enjoy this podcast at all points in time.
If someone gets invested enough to hear the end, then they'll probably bear with it, you know?
If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, find yourself a real man.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I miss the good old days of scene posting on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. You can still do it.
Preach it, girl.
You can still do that.
Oh, you can, but it's not as prolific.
You can make your own.
You can't. You couldn't scroll through Facebook for more than 5 minutes without finding a single. You had to find at least one post like that.
Do you remember just girly things?
Yeah. When he holds you in his arms, just girly things number 284 or something.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even think of any. But
when he says "I love you" back.
Yeah.
When he cleans the dishes.
When he's hard around everyone else but soft around you.
Is it? Do I have a dirty mind?
Wait,
for just thinking that sounded very weird.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's not a good thing.
When he's hard around everyone else except you.
when he can't get it up around you, but everyone else he can. Just girly things.
Just girly things.
Oh my god, that's not what I meant.
When you're in a broken relationship and he can't even get it up anymore.
When he doesn't find you attractive.
When he has permanent whiskey dick.
Oh no. Yeah.
Just girly things.
Definitely saw that one before. Yeah, that's definitely
Usually
one.
it's me who's a bit dope-headed when it comes to accidentally making innuendos.
Yeah.
That's more my MO. I'm surprised I just flew way over your radar.
It's funny because I don't even need to explain what I meant. I'm sure people know, but yeah.
I always want to just make that a satirical just girly things.
Yeah, that's good. I know.
When he's hard around everyone.
But soft around you. That's good.
Bracket emotionally bracket.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you really need to emphasize that.
And physically. Yeah, no, I'm certainly a little dopey, a little tired.
A little dopey.
Yeah.
Is that one of the dwarves from this Beauty is Sleeping Beauty?
Beauty in the Sleep.
Beauty in the Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah, it is. It's dopey.
Yeah, he's one of the dwarves, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or is it Mopey?
It's dopey.
Okay. I haven't seen it in so long.
Oh, or is it dumbass? I don't know. No.
Do you know what my favorite thing about the original cartoon was? Is when they were, the opening scene where they're in the mine and they're all mining,
and
they're finding these.
Hi ho.
Yeah, and they're singing the song.
To work we go. Yeah.
Hi ho.
You're good at that.
I know. Wow, that's so confident of me. I shouldn't say that. I know, Jamie.
I know.
I know.
They should have had me do it, to be real. If they're hey Disney, if you're remaking that, I know how to whistle.
It's incredible how Disney can make something so crushingly depressing and oppressive seem fun. Because in real life, if you're a miner, you get black lung, you die young, you abuse your wife, you're miserable every living moment until you die when you're 45 or 50.
That's very true.
But in this one, like refined minerals just fall off the walls while you're singing. Yeah. So that's a lot of fun.
You know what else does that? Minecraft. They make it look way too fun. Yeah. No, being a miner is pretty trash. They get stuck in there too. Wasn't there like a big accident like a couple of years ago where there was like hundreds of miners trapped underground or something? It's like I don't remember.
I
where.
100% believe that.
Yeah.
That's probably happened more than once
Well,
too.
yeah, but there was a big story because there was like a huge like operation going on, and there was just tons of them.
Actually, an interesting story because this is pretty relevant. I had a buddy who grew up in a mining town in Alberta, a town of and we're talking, it was a town of 500 people, and his dad was a miner, and he died of black lung.
How old was his mom then?
I don't know. Should I? What do I say?
It was a joke. You said his dad was a miner. I was like, well, then how old was his mom? Anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I bet.
Okay, it was funny. it's hard to force a laugh, after the fact.
Yeah. Well, especially if you don't actually catch it right
no,
away.
dude. Jamie,
the timing wasn't there if you didn't catch it.
I will confess that I really appreciate dad jokes, but they're completely lost on me. They just go way over my head. It's if anything, I'm not enough of an intellectual to fully understand and catch dad jokes.
Yeah. Oh.
Minor. Then how old was the wife?
Yeah. Yeah. When you were first...
point being,
okay, yeah,
he died of black lung, like in the traditional way, in his like 50s or something like that, and he said that felt really bad. And actually, the mine,
he said that felt really
did
bad.
not feel good. Yeah,
because he
being
died
in a little mining town, like
his dad died.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the mine went under, so he just had to leave. Like the town died.
The whole town?
Yeah.
That's not funny.
Well, if the entire economy...
I laugh for some reason.
I know. It's how you cope with the fact that you feel something other than laughing.
Yeah.
And feeling, it's not funny. So
it's
that's
an
why
uncomfortable laughter.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, not.
The whole town? Wow.
But when you're a mining town, the entire economy is based on it. So if it stops being viable to continue mining there, the town dies.
Wow.
So, and he just moved, and then after that, he moved to Toronto.
Yeah, I'm assuming you'd have to move a lot if you're a miner.
Well, not really. No, because if you're in a place where it's like pretty rich in minerals or whatever you're getting, it should last a very long time.
You can just be a miner your whole life,
and until you're dead.
Yeah.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
Being a miner is a shitty job. It was when that Bill Burr skit with he was doing that whole thing about like being a mother is the hardest job, or something like that, and he's going on the rant. It was all about miners.
Oh yeah. Oh, miners. Yeah, no, that's definitely rough.
Wondering when you're gonna die. You're coughing. You can feel the shit in your lungs. You're wondering why you're here.
Yeah, and they can't even buy alcohol to cope with it. Okay, that's the last joke I'm going to make like that. All right.
I need you to fuck right off. And you know what? We didn't even do the intro. So welcome to Real Neighbours.
Welcome to Real Neighbours, episode 42.
The second one I got it, but it kind of just pissed me off.
Welcome. I'm sorry. I worked 12 hours today and I just didn't sleep. Well, I did, but
Jamie, you never sleep anyway.
True.
Why do you have to put the weight of the world on our audience? Why can't you just come in here and say,
just sympathize? Just sympathize with me.
I'm so excited to be here. Life is good. I'm energized.
Hey, at least I'm not a miner. Oh, what the hell, dude?
I'm so sorry, Jamie.
Why would I be excited to be here? If that didn't pick up on the mic, Austin just ripped ass.
It was really bad.
Oh my god,
JB,
dude!
It probably. I'm sorry, JB.
I'm speaking with a shirt over my mouth, talking to the mic.
Well, let's get into today's topics.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, dude, want to hear something fucking crazy?
I do.
I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but the boxing match with Hafthor Bjornsson?
I actually do not.
Oh, well, basically. Hafthor Bjornsson, famous guy, the mountain from Game of Thrones, the super big dude.
Okay,
right?
Yep.
He was a strong man, and he was a boxer, and he was going to box another guy named Eddie Hall. They're both world's strongest men.
Yeah.
They both have beef with each other, so they basically had a match where they went, we're going to beat the shit out of each other and see who wins.
Yeah.
And their beef is legitimate. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Eddie Hall blows a bicep. So he can't do this. He can't do it anymore, and this is happening in a month. So do you know who they get? They get a guy called Devin Lorette.
Yeah,
and he's an arm wrestler. So now we have a strongman named Hafthor boxing, just a random
arm wrestling
competitor called Devin Lorette.
Wow,
I told you, Jamie. This is boxing is becoming just celebrity showdown.
Yeah.
Just like the crossing of worlds.
Well, and
It's already starting to happen.
the Mountain from Game of Thrones, he also wasn't a boxer anyway, right?
No.
Wow.
And this guy, this arm, he can't even fully extend his arms.
Yeah.
Because he has this thing that he's been arm wrestling so long that his tendons are permanently locked in like a position, so he can't go more than like kind of.
That's weird.
He can go maybe like up to here, which I'm to give everybody an
giving a
example. It's like
visual cue.
140 degrees. Like he
Right.
can't fully extend his arm.
Yeah, he's just ready to arm wrestle at
Yes,
any
whenever
time.
he's walking around, he has this look to him like this, where he's just his arms are always like hanging out like a raptor.
He looks like a raptor. Wow, that's gonna be weird.
Now, I will say
He's also, to be fair, he's also ready to throw a punch in that position too.
Yeah, the only problem is he can't fully complete a jab. You know, like when you do that,
True.
it's pretty hard. So that'll be
Yeah.
interesting. However, he was in the special forces for 20 years, and he was he taught combat, like mixed martial arts to military for 5 or 6 years as a supervisor.
Okay.
So he's pretty legit.
Yeah. So I mean, at least he knows a thing or two about fighting to a
Now,
degree.
yeah, downside though, he only has a month to prepare.
Yeah.
But guys, check it out. It's the Crossing of Worlds. It's going to be really ridiculous, and I think that it's going to be like $10 to watch. So
Oh, $10. It'll be like 40, 50
no,
bucks.
they've already announced the
Oh,
price.
really?
It's
Okay.
only $10.
Well, that's okay. That's smart because like it's actually hard to say because if you think about it, the really overhyped matches that were $50, they made a crazy amount of money. But I suppose this is sorry, is that like there's like a weird
distracted?
there's a weird bug running at me. Anyway.
Oh well.
Oh well. Also, but since I'm derailing, why does your fart smells like sawdust for some reason?
That's actually not that bad.
That's pretty bad.
I thought it smelled way worse than sawdust. I thought it's
eating sawdust.
Yeah, I was thinking of sawdust mixed with I don't know the reek of death. But
it's mixed with something, that's for sure. But yeah, $10 is that's smart because I think more people will watch it as a result. Therefore, they'll still probably have a pretty good profit margin.
yeah.
So-
No, I think so, and I don't. They obviously know that this isn't two world champion boxers or something. These are just some weird, just
your
random
normal,
dudes looking for some
regular
clout.
people, arm wrestlers and
Well, they're athletes, but they're not
actors.
boxers.
yeah,
It's gonna be, I don't know. I think it's gonna be just hilariously weird.
that is.
I don't even know what that's gonna look like. I'm gonna be watching it and be amazed. I'll be like, "What is this? I don't even know what this is.
Yeah,
What's happening?"
no, that's definitely weird. Who was the first one you mentioned? Just
Half-Thor. Pretty much most people, even listening to this, would know who he is.
right.
He's
Okay.
he's a huge guy, 6'9" from Iceland. He and he's famous for being the Mountain on Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's it.
The big dude.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever heard of Schoolboy? For speaking of arm wrestling.
Oh, you know Schoolboy.
I do.
Oh, Jamie, you've
I
been educating yourself.
No, it's weird because I started getting recommended videos of him, but it's basically he started arm wrestling when he was really young, and he used to challenge people on the street. Like
Yep.
he'd be like, "If you can beat me, you get $100," and he literally was like undefeated. And there'd be like these jack dudes, and he was like a kid, well,
Yep.
like a teenager, and he was just beating them like somehow, and like it's really crazy.
I know, and it's funny because he doesn't look like much.
No, well, he does actually look really big, but it's weird because it's not like defined muscle. He's just actually a big. It's hard to
Yeah,
explain.
he's a big dude, but in comparison to the people
Yeah.
in our brains, it seems illogical that someone with that much muscle mass wouldn't be able to overcome this guy.
Yeah, because I've seen him go against. If anyone doesn't know what that is, look up Schoolboy arm wrestling. You can find him like arm wrestling these bodybuilders with arms like bigger than his like upper body, basically.
Did you come to the? I don't think you were there. We had a bunch of people over at my buddy's place, and it was probably like 12, bunch of people, and we were watching arm wrestling.
Really?
It was, yeah, dude, it was fucking awesome.
I found myself down that rabbit hole on the internet before, but I don't watch it all the time. But yeah, definitely when it's someone
showing up-
freakishly talented at it, I can't help but be interested.
Niche sports everybody, I highly recommend if you're watching, let's say, I don't know, baseball, basketball, you should start digging into some niche sports. There's some fucking awesome shit going on right now in terms of the best versions of people ever are coming to the limelight in the sense that we got steroids, we got modern nutrition, we got people that can just spend decades training the same thing every day, day in, day out.
Yeah.
And it's viable.
You know what actually really trips me out is like the Olympics just happened, and I didn't go out of my way to watch it, but like people would just throw it on a lot. So I watched a lot of just random sports like while it was going on. And it's so weird how like there's so many different ways people condition their bodies to be good at their sport. So like for example, you watch the high jump and stuff or the vaulting and stuff, and it's like these really skinny but like toned people with kind of strong legs, and you can just tell they worked their body to such a point to just totally amplify what they're doing.
Oh, designed for the sport, 100%.
Yeah. So they look like they tried to make their body aerodynamic and strong legs so they can jump. It's just crazy. 'Cause I'm like, these people like condition their bodies for a long time to be good at this like one thing.
Oh, dude, and it's crazy too because it's hard for your body to do more than one thing in terms of objectives. So let's say
I can't even chew gum and walk.
like so like if you wanted to like a simple example which I was trying to do was if you want to lose weight and get stronger at the same time,
Yeah.
that's naturally very difficult.
Yeah, because your body's either doing one or the other.
Exactly. Or so if you want to lift heavier, you should be revolving your diet around that. You should be revolving how you train around that. Like everything that you're doing would be towards that specific goal. And it's hard to do anything else. Because if you're getting stronger and gaining weight, then what if you want to play soccer? Does that make you better at soccer? Or maybe it's better if you're lighter when you're playing soccer.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be doing way more leg work. You know, it's such a...
Yeah.
Everything you do, your body kind of needs to specialize. And that's why, in my opinion, it's very impressive whenever you meet someone who's a pretty balanced all-around athlete.
Yeah.
Because that's very hard to do.
Yeah. You just got to be a god.
It's got to be a god.
Yeah.
No, some people are really talented.
Yeah.
Just physically and how they can move their body and
Oh, that's very true. If there's one thing I know about humans is they can be talented, some of them.
wow, Jamie.
Yeah, I know that.
You are being profound today.
I know. That's one
And
thing I know.
One
That's
moment
thing I know.
you're spitting out dad jokes, and the next moment you're talking about people being good at things.
They are. And I appreciate every one of them.
And I love them too.
And I love them.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
You're really contributing.
I know. Yeah. No, honestly, it's cool. But yeah, again, that's like a lot of skills. It's sort of I feel people, if you spend a lot of time perfecting a certain craft, then you're going to be a lot better. Like obviously there's people who are just naturally talented at a lot of things. And that's I think to some degree that's just inherent to some people. But yeah, the people who devote a lot of time to improve on one thing, like usually the outcome's pretty good if you put your mind to one thing.
As you get older, you start to realize how significant your childhood is and how easy it was to learn things back then.
Yeah.
And you always wonder what's the middle ground between forcing your kids to be good at something without them hating you.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's two methods. You have the full send,
Yeah.
which is force your children to practice something 6 hours a day, whether they want to or not.
Yeah.
And then get famous on YouTube by saying 8-year-old Chinese girl plays Dragon Force.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or you have the other way around where you're so gentle with your kid that you just go, you can do whatever you want.
They're just a
eat
fucking
cake
loser.
and play games and don't learn anything. And then you're a very average adult.
But then that kid's cool. No.
Jamie, there's no guarantee he's even going to be cool. What if he's
That's
not good at
true.
anything and he's awkward?
That's true. Yeah.
Wow, literally no talent, no social talent, no physical brain talent.
That's a good point.
He's got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It is actually sad. Like, it's not just China that does that, but like when you see these very young kids doing like, I don't know, just intense like Cirque du Soleil type crap, and like, or just like being very proficient at an instrument at such a young age, it's like, I mean, I'm sure the kid to a degree might like it, but there's clearly a level of they're clearly just very strict about their kid doing that, which it's hard to say whether or not that's like healthy for someone's mind. It could have some benefits too, but I don't know. It's hard to really say. There's definitely a degree where it's kind of cruel, I think, but
Yeah.
kind of depends. I don't know.
But some people, you know what,
Because it does give someone purpose too. Because it's kind of hard to say whether or not like you'd feel better off. Because if I was a kid and I was just practicing something all day, and then when you finally do it, well, you probably are still getting praise. So that kid feels good, I'm sure, once they're getting praise for it. You know, I guess I don't know.
every kid's different. Some there is a, you know what, the keyboard player for Snarky Puppy.
Yeah.
Or he was for a while, Corey Henry.
Yeah.
He started playing pretty much the moment he was able to, be even cohesive and walk around. He was already playing keyboard.
Yeah.
And by the time he was 10, he was already at a level of just a professional.
Yeah.
And obviously then at that point, by the time he's in his 20s, he's the keyboard player's keyboard player, where they go, who do we listen to when we don't know what to do?
Yeah.
Right?
That actually just reminded me of something that was funny. I hope I can find it though. I saw an NPR Tiny Desk. You've seen those?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're pretty. There's a lot of big artists on there. I saw one. Yeah, that's what it was. So there's a band called Moon Hooch I came across, and it was funny because they're like sax players, but they get pretty crazy, and it's hard to explain, but they're kind of heavy, and they start playing the saxophone. There's like two saxophonists with like traffic cones on the end of their saxophones, and like just this crazy drummer. I just remember all the jokes. Like I just reading the comments on that. It was good music, so I would recommend looking that up. Moon Hooch on NPR Tiny Desk. It's cool, so I'd recommend that. But I just remember reading the comments. It made me laugh so hard because someone's like, "It's weird that a saxophone dubstep band and the drummer is the most interesting thing about it," because the drummer's eyes kept going super wide while he was playing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he just was going crazy, and like all the comments were making me laugh so hard because the one was like, "I've never seen someone play drums sarcastically before," and then another one was it was like, "I think the drummer just saw me." I don't know. I just thought it was so funny, but
Yeah.
you just remind me of that because honestly, that was a really cool performance. So that's a cool band.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, there's a lot of great bands in NPR.
yeah.
No, I'm very impartial to I've always liked what's the guy, Mac Miller. That's a great NPR concert.
That's a very good one.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Just all the great musicians, And I think it was I think it was pretty close to when he died too. I think
I think
they
so.
released the NPR and maybe he passed away 4 to 6 months later, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the last performances he did.
Yeah. I don't know. How long ago was that? I don't remember when Mac Miller died.
That was a good couple years ago now. Probably.
Couple years ago.
I would put my money on 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
That sounds right, but I'll just quickly
Who can say for sure?
Who could say for Benny? Let's get our fact-checking ghost all up in here. Benny, you're a huge Mac Miller fan, right? Okay. Thank you, Benny. So he died in 2018.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah. So it's
Nailed it.
Yeah, it's kind of a while ago, but honestly, 2018. That sounds so foreign right now.
A little bit, yeah.
Wow. Crazy times, my guy.
I don't know how to bounce off you today.
Man,
You're all over the place. You're just
like I said, I'm just drained, man. Yesterday, I pulled an all-nighter, worked 12 hours today, another 12 hour. I got 2 days off. I'll be fine, but a little spacey. I will admit.
Yeah.
I will admit. I hope it's not translating too bad, though.
I mean, would you want to control the state of the next conversation, Jamie?
Sure,
What do you wanna
Austin.
do?
Let's talk about some wacky things I'm thinking of.
Maybe not quite as loud though.
What? Oh.
Ow. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Do you have to turn that down now?
No, but it hurt our ears. So
It did
I don't
hurt
know.
my
Good
ear.
job.
Have you ever so I have this weird thing where sometimes when I get laughing super hard, my ears actually start popping almost.
That's fucked up.
I know.
I don't. No, that doesn't happen to me, Jamie.
Yeah.
There's no solace to be had here.
No, you never had that? Weird. Maybe
Never, ever at any point in time.
or maybe it's just when people are all so loud when I'm laughing. It's not a good mix. Okay, Austin. So
Anyway, done with that topic.
anyway,
Wow.
done with that one. Okay, well, yeah, I have a. So okay, Austin, you ever just eat something and find something really disgusting in your food?
Yes, olives.
Olives.
All the time.
Like, okay, but that's a food item. Like, have you ever found something that just should not be in your food while you're eating?
Yes.
All right. You got any interesting things you found? Well, like a razor blade.
Fuck me. You're putting me on the spot. Dude, no
a
razor
blade in
blades.
your Halloween
No,
candy,
that's
for
freaking
example.
that's psycho. That's for what psycho people do.
I know. What the hell? Has that ever happened? Like, I'm kind of like, Jesus.
I've from watching TV. Yes, Jamie, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
If that bitch Teresa is cheating on you with Jason,
Yeah.
then like, what are you supposed to do? Obviously, you put razor blades in that
In his-
bitch's M&Ms.
And his kids M&Ms
No, and like their chicken wings.
and their chicken wings. Invite them over for dinner, and they
Yo, bitch. I mean, Teresa. You want some chicken wings?
and that doesn't throw her off at all. She's like, "Yeah, that's very nice of
Of
you."
course, that's very pleasant of you.
Of course.
That,
She's
that
like,
would be
I'm
fantastic.
surprised you're being so nice considering I'm cheating. And I think.
You really cut me deep emotionally.
Now,
And guess what?
now I'm going to cut your fucking tongue on these chicken wings.
What did you just say?
Oh, nothing.
No.
Nothing. Just come on in. Invite your
Come right
kids
this way.
too.
Whoa,
bring them
Jamie,
over.
no, you don't
bring them over for Halloween.
You don't involve the
for
kid. This
trick or
isn't-
treating.
No. This girl's got ethics. Okay.
Right.
Teresa's a bitch, but you don't do kids.
For real though, what kind of monster has ever put a blade in Halloween candy?
Well, okay. Halloween's too specific.
No, but
How
that's
about
a thing.
food in general? You know what? Do you eat chicken wings on Halloween?
No.
Yeah, it's not a staple. That was my example. Do you know why? Because I meant anything. Like, has anybody ever put razor blades in anything? Definitely.
No, but I'm saying that's like a trope. Like they tell you to search Halloween candy for blades. So I'm just saying side
Okay,
note.
I have heard that. That's true.
Yeah, I'm just saying side note. That's actually fucked. Has that ever really happened?
You know what? For it to be brought up, it had to have happened to someone at some point. That's also safe to assume, considering how many people are on the planet of Earth.
It's true. But I'm guessing out of 8 billion people, that's happened 10 times.
That's 8 billion of current population.
Right.
What about the last hundreds? What about the last century?
That's true. Yeah, I don't know.
Nah, dude. There are some people are completely psycho.
Right.
And when I say psycho, I mean they are literal psychopaths with
Yeah.
no emotions.
It's-
And for them, the vindication of watching someone eat a razor blade is akin to, I don't know, like insulting someone in an argument.
Yeah.
Where I
Jeff-
say, you know what, Jamie, why don't you clean up your act?
Yeah.
And that for the psychopath, the equivalent is to just put razor blades in your food.
Right. Are you implying you're a psychopath?
No, I would just give you a stern talking to,
But
like the first option.
yeah, that's a little psychopathic, Austin.
No, I'm actually. It's for your sake, you fucking idiot.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing this for you.
Well, I'm putting blades in your food for you, man. Okay, well, no. So on this topic though, it's gross because I remember one time I ordered a pizza.
You know, it's weird that you're trying to stay on topic when the topic itself barely has any. The original substance was Halloween candy with razor blades in. You're like, Austin, let's please stay on track here.
I'm not talking about Halloween candy with blades in it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well,
no, I'm just
I don't
talking.
know. Then continue.
I was just talking about food in general, like just finding gross shit. And I was wondering if you had a story, like just something really weird.
You know, Jamie, I've started to realize something about myself.
What?
Is if that has happened, it takes me a little bit to recall because once it happens, I'm like, that happened, that's life, and then I move on. You know.
So clearly, it was nothing like super bad. If you clearly never found anything totally disgusting, then.
You know, actually, okay. Here's one I can think of. I did have the classic worm and apple.
You did.
However, I saw the hole where the worm went in.
Right.
Which, you know what? Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that there's a pretty good chance the worm at some point. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but usually they have to go into the apple
Of
to
course.
be in the apple.
Yeah. I think as a kid, I assumed they would just be in there, just by default.
Which maybe I don't know. Maybe there could be an egg in there somehow. And
I don't
it could
think
grow
so.
inside. I don't know, but
No,
but I saw a hole and I thought that's weird that there's just a hole in this apple.
Yeah,
And I opened it up and there was a worm.
yeah, yeah. Well, exactly because they burrow into it. So yeah, I would assume you would see that.
So I mean that's happened.
Okay.
And let me think of some other tough stuff that's happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Oh, Jamie! Wow. Have you ever tried dancing?
Have I ever tried dancing? No, but I did find a full toenail in my grape juice, so that's pretty gross.
Why were you drinking grape juice, Jamie Welsh?
Because I saw my last name on it, and I was like, you know what, this sounds great, and I grabbed it. No, but yeah, that actually was really disgusting. I'm still to this day. As a kid, I wondered. I'm like, you know how like people stomp grapes down like. Obviously, most grape juice is from concentrate, so I'm wondering like how the hell did that possibly get in there?
That is very strange.
Yeah, because I'm like, did it come?
Fingernail got in there.
Yeah, or it like looked like a toenail, and I was like, is this literally from somehow down the road? Is this actually from somehow someone stomping grapes or something?
Oh, do you know what fucked me up when I was a kid?
What?
When I was 13 or 14, I cracked an egg, and there was a beak in it. And like the yolk came out, and then in the yolk was just this. It was literally just a little beak.
Wow.
There's no other way to describe it. And that kind of fucked me up because I never really thought at that point. I never contemplated too much about the fact that these were legitimately just unbirthed chickens.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, I think eggs, usually the ones you're buying are unfertile eggs. Like there's a thing they do to make sure chickens aren't fertile when they're laying the eggs.
Not this one, Jamie.
Well, yeah, exactly. Mistakes can happen. Yeah, I think the first time I saw blood in an egg kind of tripped me out. And then I realized, I looked it up. I'm like, is it bad to eat one if you find blood in it? Because I scooped that part out, the part with the blood. Because if you buy like fresh farm eggs, sometimes that happens. So
I can already tell you that as long as you cook it thoroughly, probably not.
No, exactly. So yeah, I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's safe. But I just kind of pulled it out anyway. A bit like just kind of got a spoon and got rid of the blood part.
You know what?
Yeah, it's kind of like that would have been the chicken forming apparently, but it stopped for whatever reason.
Yeah. You know what the principle is that generally speaking, man, even I've even done this with. I don't take it that far, but if meat's expired a day or two.
Yeah.
Okay, assuming it doesn't have a fucking stench. If it smells, you throw the shit out, right?
Right. Yeah.
But if I kind of go, like it's starting to oxidize, like the meat's definitely not as luscious as it used to be, I'll slightly overcook it, just a little bit. Like if I wanted to cook it for, let's say 15 minutes, I'll cook it for like 18 to 20 instead, and just give it that little overcooking. Just because generally speaking, like the fact that heat solves most problems, it kills the majority of bacteria. And I had a great example would be, let's say back in the day, if the cauterizing a wound,
Yeah.
if back in the day, if you got cut or stabbed, the only answer was really to just like to get a piece of wood, get it smoldering and
burns
burn
up
the wound.
bacteria.
It burns bacteria. It seals the skin. Like heat is a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, without its disinfectant properties, and we'd be fucked. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
We just wouldn't exist.
No, that seems like definitely a good practice. If you're kind of worried about meat or where it's coming from, just cook the shit out of that.
Yeah, just kind of go like, just overcook it. If it's chicken breast, you're like, it won't be as juicy, but overcook
just
it.
dry that shit up.
Yeah, steak looks a little suspicious. Just do it don't do it medium rare. Kind of go more towards well.
Yeah. You ever seen those like weird viral posts online where people are saying, "Oh, like this food I have. Did you realize if you do this to food, worms come out of it or something?" I saw a post and I think it was about strawberries, and it was like if you put strawberries in water and put salt or something weird on it, they're like these little worms come out. And I'm like, that can't be real. Like I'm not gonna try that, but like, come on, it's not like every batch.
Is it real?
I couldn't tell you. It's just a dumb
Wow,
video.
wow, no, Jamie, do that. Whoa, everything, stop, full break.
What?
Jamie, first and foremost, you're coming across you're starting to come across as a crabby old man.
Why?
Going, You see this new idea and you go, "That's absolutely outrageous."
Okay, I don't
And
know.
you don't even, Jimmy. You don't even like look into it. You don't even. You just immediately dismiss it. You know why? Because we're starting to get set in our ways, Jamie, and it's not good.
Well,
I'm calling you out on that.
Okay, but I'm just saying. Do you actually think every batch of strawberries is covered in worms?
No, I'm saying that maybe it's possible. Maybe that could happen. It just seems like, Jamie, you seem a little closed-minded. That's all. I don't know. Seems like you're a bit boomer, kind of going like.
I don't think
that's
so.
Absolutely outrageous.
I don't think so, because that does seem illogical. Because people are able to swab things. People, like, science has come a long way. I feel like I would have heard long before that on the surface of strawberries there are these tangible creatures that only come out if you put salt on them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just illogical.
Well, also, but on the same coin, though, however, to say like there's little worms, for example, I mean, the reality is, I think our body has 100 trillion cells, and I think 90 trillion of them don't even belong to us. You know why? It's bacteria.
Yeah.
And the things that we need, they're good for us to have. So
Yeah.
it could be that maybe these, like, say, borderline microscopic worms.
No, they're not microscopic, because I'm saying in this video they're very big and tangible, and you can see them. Like, you would see them anyway.
Okay, I'm just saying I'm not going to just shut it down, you know?
Yeah, I did, but that's cool. I don't know. I'm just saying. I didn't think it
I don't
seemed.
know, it could be possible. No, Jamie,
I didn't think
Jamie,
it sounded real.
what's interesting is if you apparently a way to find out if you have a tapeworm is to put food in the top of your mouth.
Oh, that always scared me.
I
Man.
know that. Oh, dude, that always fucked me up. In fact, I never tried it because I never wanted to know.
Right.
I was like, if I have a tapeworm, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm not
want
gonna
it to
fucking
stay
find
there.
out. Yeah, I'm not gonna find that out and. I don't know, whatever. Like, and then they say, "Oh, it's simple. It comes up your neck, and you just pull it out."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't want to get PTSD from like accepting the fact that some weird organism was eating stuff in my
Yeah.
large intestines, and then it literally crawled up my tract and went up my throat to go get food.
You know what it is?
That's fucked up.
You know what it is? I think we both had a teacher that told us that. Do you remember? Was it Mrs. Brody? I feel like she told me about tapeworms. Did you hear it from her? I'm not sure.
Dude, I don't.
You don't
know.
remember?
I'm not sure.
Because I think it was her who told me that, because I'm just picturing her telling a story about someone putting an apple in front of their mouth, waiting with their mouth open, and a tapeworm slithers up their neck to eat the apple, and then they grab the tapeworm and pull it out.
I know, they make it seem standard.
And I'm just like,
You know, like, oh, it's simple.
I would
just pull it out.
fucking die. I would not be able to live after that. That's just horrible. Yeah, that's disgusting. So I feel like I was traumatized when I heard that, and I always was scared. I think I even had an irrational fear to even leave food, like chew on food too long. I'm like, what if I'm chewing
I went
too
through that phase too. Shortly afterwards, I thought, if I just let the like food stay in my mouth too long, if I do have a
What if it
tapeworm,
starts crawling
he's like,
up?
I've had enough. I can't wait
Yeah.
anymore. Oh, I need to get up there and get that
Yeah.
delicious steak.
Yeah, allegedly, because I do think that is one way to get rid of them. I don't know if it's the most effective, but I heard you do have to starve yourself for a while. Then the tapeworm gets hungry and does it. So,
But you know what?
It's,
If you're
it's a
really-
calculated effort. I think. I don't even know if it's. Again, I'm just a crotchety old man who doesn't believe anything. But is that even a thing? Is that how do they come out that way?
Well, you can also just take pills that kill them as well.
yeah,
I'd prefer that. I'd prefer to just poop them out. You know.
right. But I'm just like, do people literally grab them? Like, can you watch a video of that? Because I wonder.
Man, we should go on YouTube and see if we can just watch videos of people ripping tapeworms out of their mouth.
Out of their mouth?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Jamie, not right now.
Well, I'm not gonna. I just want to Google it and see if anything comes up. Tapeworm being pulled out of mouth. I'm just gonna see what comes up, because I don't.
This is becoming very close to just being the Austin Jamie. Just even forgetting we're on air, we're just having a conversation.
Well, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think people want to know if tapeworms
Crawl up your throat,
crawl out of your throat. You know.
or is that just some weird thing that we were both wrong about? I don't know. Like the eating 7 spiders a year.
Yeah. Oh, I literally just wrote tape being pulled out of my mouth. That's weird. That's not what I meant. Yeah, the 7 spiders a year thing that we did look at. I don't know if there's. Wait. Yeah, doctor pulls out rare parasite from his own mouth.
Oh,
you know what? It looks like there's videos like that. Okay,
that's legit. That sounds very legit.
That's disgusting. Okay.
And is a doctor like teaching a lesson while he's pulling it out? He's like, anyway, if I leave food at the top of my mouth, oh, here it comes, and he's like,
yeah. I don't know.
it's really graphic, and he's choking and gagging the whole time, and he's like, while he's pulling it out, and then he goes, wow, guys, I mean, that was pretty scary.
Yeah, and Tape Room's like,
well, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
yeah, after he pulls it out.
Wow, guys, that was not fun at all.
The Tapeworm's like, squatter's right, bitch. Squatter's rights. Here it's like, no, you get out of there. No, I just saw several really disturbing images. So yeah, that looks like it's a thing.
All right, guys. Well,
disgusting.
Oh, feel free to look it up, I guess, if you really want to.
Have you guys ever heard of blue waffle?
We've talked about that before already.
Have we? Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Just like looking up shocking
because Jamie, we
things
just
as
have to
kids.
accept the fact that our childhood can just be summed up in a few parts.
Yeah.
And nothing's really profound, or
No, everyone had the exact same childhood.
I know.
Well,
unfortunate.
Well, at least, especially, yeah. It is weird how like popular culture of any time is really just. It is true because like everyone is typically around very similar things in pop culture.
Oh, do you know what disgusts me though?
What
is when I've been seeing this on YouTube recently, and I get it. It's pandering. That's what it is, because they basically analyze old TV shows that, like, for example, that we watched when we were kids, and they try to find these intense, profound meanings within these shows. They'll analyze an episode and go, "This is why this episode of SpongeBob was profound and genius." And I watched one or two of them, and I'm like, you don't. Why are you, like, what a waste of time? Why are you even analyzing this? Like, one, you're half right, but at the same time, they did not fucking think about this even remotely as much as you did.
Right.
You know, like, and everybody's gobbling it up. They're like, "Oh my god, I also watched SpongeBob SquarePants when I was a kid. This episode is genius."
You know what's funny is I think I've seen exactly what you're probably referencing. Was it I think I saw something about that where. Excuse me.
Did
it was
you watch the same video?
Was it the one where they end up in like the time machine one where he ends up in like the weird non-reality between time, and it was talking about like they're like, this is actually a very interesting like commentary on nihilistic, like it's just like all this stuff, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The writers probably weren't going like, we should create an episode based on the conflict of man,
the concept of nothingness in the universe, and like stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, like
what matters, what doesn't matter.
Do you remember that episode though?
No, I probably would,
because the time machine gets stuck, and then they get caught in this place in between time and stuff. But I saw this whole YouTube video.
Not off the top of my head, but I have seen, at least for like up to the point of when we were kids, like maybe like with seasons 1 through 6.
Yeah,
I've seen every episode.
Of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. And
I think that was kind of their heyday. I didn't see any beyond that really, but the episode I was talking about, I think that the one I watched was the one about Squidward going to like a Squidward city.
Oh yeah,
where it's all Squidward.
Yes, I think I've seen something like that too.
And he's doing this analysis that makes that I thought this isn't even that your analysis is so base level.
Yeah,
because
the episode itself was more like deep than even what you're trying to over explain.
I know it's you. Why are you over explaining?
They got the point across in the actual episode. You get what I mean?
And not only that. They probably didn't even think about it that much. They had a premise. They thought it was kind of cheeky. That obviously they're basing it on real life effects.
Yeah, and they're like,
and they release it.
It's kind of an interesting take on psychology, but like obviously they're not actually expecting someone to dissect it.
I know, making a 15-minute video,
like a college thesis on it. Like
too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. So yeah, the one thing that does bother me is I do think, in my opinion, the quality of children's content has definitely dropped, but it was never this incredible, profound thing that some people are convinced it was somehow.
Yeah. Well,
it had some adult themes. They had some good themes.
Yeah.
But it was still a kids show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be devil's advocate to a degree. I do think like SpongeBob was clever, and they definitely used to put a lot of effort into having very diverse topics. So, but yeah, I guess my whole thing is to make an equal length video dissecting it as the episode itself. It seems a little much. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, yeah. But they definitely deal with themes like, let's say, and they deal with tongue in cheek, let's say, like addiction and
yeah. Well, one episode that was cool was the one where he had the squeaky boots, SpongeBob. He's walking around squeaking everywhere, and they did like a big reference to like an Edgar Allan Poe story where he buries the guy in the floorboards and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he starts going crazy because he starts hearing the guy's watch in the floorboards, and he thinks everyone can hear it, so he starts going crazy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
SpongeBob referenced that, and it is like a very like creative take on a story, because as a kid who doesn't know who Edgar Allan Poe is, it's like you don't even understand the reference, but
you're enjoying the secondhand story of it.
yeah, so it's kind of cool because they did do stuff like that. They definitely put a lot of effort into like, parodying stuff, and they referenced a lot of very interesting things. So I definitely think there's stuff you can look into, because if someone didn't know that and you tell them that, it is an interesting fact for sure. But
which then I would argue though that you're not necessarily analyzing SpongeBob. You're just analyzing the underlying themes that they were inspired by. You know, and I get it. You're not. You shouldn't be expected to be able to know where that came from. But
oh yeah, as a kid, also like Nosferatu. They had that little clip from the Night Shift one where the hash slinging slasher. You remember that one? They had a little reference where it showed the very old like 1930s or 40s film Nosferatu.
Dude, how do you? I'm actually amazed by how well you retain your memory.
Well, that was like my favorite episode as a kid. So that's why I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just grinded through them when I think I was 13, and I had all the DVDs or something. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I remember what it was. The Rogers Video was still open, so I'd go to Rogers Video, and my buddy and I would rent just SpongeBob discs and watch SpongeBob. That's wild. I forgot that was a thing, that you could do that.
Oh man, I miss like video rental stores and stuff.
Oh, and game rentals, man. The cool thing about it is you never took anything for granted.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is overconsumption.
Yeah.
Because I have so many Steam games now, I don't appreciate any of the games.
You're just jaded.
It's an emotional. It feels like it's something I have to deal with. I'm like, oh fuck, I have to learn this new game and figure it out.
Yeah, it's true, because I feel like as a kid, when the games I owned was more limited, whatever I had, I just enjoyed.
And the cover mattered more.
Yeah.
Let's say you went into a store and you saw a thing like a game, and it had a cool cover art or something, and you'd read the back and you'd think, man, this looks pretty cool. And then you'd rent it and take it home and see if it was good or not. There's no like large analysis beyond that. You couldn't pull out your smartphone and Google reviews and go, well, the Metacritic score is only 67%, so it's not very good. And then you leave it at that. So sometimes you'd even get mediocre games.
Right.
There's something cool about that, you know?
Oh yeah. I remember my friend Evan, growing up, we had like one of those video stores right near our house, and it was funny because he used to always go in and rent like just M-rated games or R-rated movies, just kind of like more graphic stuff. We were like pretty young, like 14 or so, but he started trying to rent them, and they were like, oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to rent this to you, because we were like young. But then
that happened to me before.
But then he asked his parents, he's like, because his parents didn't really care, and he's like, can you tell them that it's okay? And then they actually just started remembering him, so I would just go with him, and like he would just rent whatever, because like they had on file that his parents didn't care, basically.
Just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny. I remember
Dude,
that.
I wish I had that. The biggest thing I remember is I tried to rent Left 4 Dead when that game first came out. Mm-hmm. And I think I was 13 at the time. Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't let me rent it, and I went back to my parents, and they said, now you're not allowed to play it. Because it was zombies and guns and blood and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember being so mad and actually embarrassed, because I was with my buddy and I felt so lame that my parents just cock blocked us from getting this game.
Yeah.
And now we can't play it, you know? I was just ashamed.
But your parents let you play Halo and stuff, but I guess that's not really that.
Halo was M-rated, but it was...
Yeah, that game
it was so tame in comparison.
Actually, you know what I just realized? Halo should not be rated M.
I don't know if every single Halo game is rated M, but I know at the time.
All of the top ones are like
Yeah, I
1,
believe
2, and
Halo 2 was rated M.
I think they all are.
Halo 3 was probably rated M. Do what I think
It
it
was rated
was
M.
is there's F-bombs in the campaign.
The campaign.
Yeah, so Sergeant Johnson would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, soldier?" And then I
Yeah.
gave it an M rating. So
Okay.
I think my parents viewed, and it really was, Halo was pretty harmless.
It was, because even the online, it's not super gory. You pretty much look like you're just shooting robots.
Now, Left 4 Dead, I get a little bit more, because at face value, like if your parents look at it, and I think your parents would have thought something similar, you open the game and it's immediately zombies and blood and guts and and guns and violence.
Yeah.
So your parents, who obviously don't have all the spare time in the world to figure out what the hell you're doing all the time, just go, it seems bad now.
Do you know what's funny? I feel like my parents like opinions on which games I was allowed to play, it actually seemed very arbitrary.
Oh, because they just give it the most simple observation and leave it at that.
No, so I'll give an example though, because that's not true. Because my dad actually played games, so he knew. So it did seem arbitrary. Because, for example, I remember we had this game called Unreal Tournament, I think, for PS1 or 2. I don't remember.
That
PS2.
game was rated M.
It was rated M. It was
Yep.
very gory. I remember, very gory.
Ultra kill.
Yeah, and my
Killing spree.
But my parents let me play it as a kid. I was like 12, even younger, and they didn't care if I played it, which was weird because I was like the one of the few M-rated games my parents let me play, which was weird because it was very gory. But then GTA, my dad didn't like me playing. He'd be like, "No, don't play GTA."
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's funny because I look at the two games, I'm like, honestly, they're both pretty much just as bad.
Yeah,
like,
you know
as
what,
in
though?
just as gory and stuff.
That you say that's arbitrary, but in my mind, Unreal Tournament is very straightforward.
Yeah.
You run around with a gun, you shoot people, blood flies out of them, and they're dead, kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
boom, killing spree, double kill,
Yeah.
triple kill. But with GTA, for example, you can, in pretty much all the GTA games, you can find a strip club. You
Right.
can, and you really can do
Right.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I think your parents thought, like, the fact that it's so free
I don't want
range.
my son to be a little sexual deviant.
Dude,
Yeah.
when I was 14, I remember it was, I think GTA 4 just came out.
Right.
And
yeah.
at the time, the graphics looked so good. You're
I
like,
know.
Oh my God.
I remember being blown away.
GTA 4, I remember, looked amazing when I was a kid. It just, like, and it probably did look amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember going to a strip club and feeling like so badass
Yeah.
or so rebellious that I was doing it at all. I'm like, oh man, my parents would hate this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember thinking it looked so HD. I'm like, the girls look like real life.
Yeah. Well, I do remember there was definitely a few times, like, with my dad, we would play it, like, there was the odd time, but he was just like, yeah, don't just be playing this all the time sort of thing. You know what I mean? So they weren't, like, super weird. I do actually recall playing with my dad. Actually, I think one time I was pretty young. The one time he was kind of like, yeah, you can play for a little bit. And he was kind of watching, and I was just driving around and stuff. I get out, and I think I just started stomping on someone and just constantly stomping. All this blood's pouring out. He's like, okay, you can stop that.
Jamie's yelling, and you're just going, die, die, die,
Die, fucker. Yeah.
die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker,
Just
die.
yeah, just going total psycho mode. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's enough stomping on that person, Jamie.
It's very tame for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He's thinking, oh, it's nice. Jamie just wants to drive around, and then you just see someone
get
you're
out,
like,
start-
I'm gonna fuck this guy
At
up.
first, I hit him. He just kind of laughs, like, yeah, you hit that person. And then I just keep stomping on him. All this blood's pouring out. This is like Vice City or something.
I know,
So
they
the
see your
more you
kid.
stomp, the bigger the puddle gets. I
Yeah.
just keep stomping. And my
you're
dad's
saying-
finally like, okay.
And you're like, take that, bitch.
This is why I don't like you playing this. You're going to turn into a psychopath.
You know what?
Yeah.
Play. What was that alien game called again? Play Destroy All Humans.
Destroy all
instead.
humans. Yeah.
Now that game, dude. When I went to
Oh,
your
yeah.
place,
Exactly. They didn't care if I played stuff like
which
that.
is hilarious because it was obviously a
was-
lot more goofy. With
It was
the,
a teen-rated game, too.
was it?
Yeah.
It was only teen. Wow.
Yeah, because it wasn't
They
actually...
must have worked hard to get that rating.
Well, because
they must have rode
if
the
you
line
think about
perfectly.
it was just like electric shocks or lasers, and they would just sort of flop with no blood or anything, and they didn't really swear too
Dude,
much.
that game was so fun.
They tried to make it a teen-rated game. You know how the games back then used to try for teens sometimes?
Yeah,
I
well,
think?
it's usually a strategy. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But dude, I remember the big thing. This is so dumb. It's so weird how I wish that I could just remember more selective memories from when I'm a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the shit I remember. I remember we were playing Destroy All Humans when we were kids, and I think maybe you were playing or something. And I just remember we managed to like glitch the game out and stuff like we had like a person, you were floating them around, right?
Yeah.
And we like got them stuck in like one of those hanging garden boxes
Right.
outside of a house.
Yeah.
And then they were like flopping
Just
everywhere
flailing
inside of the
everywhere.
garden box. We were both laughing while we were
Yeah.
like jamming into this garden thing.
Yeah.
That's just a weird memory I have that has no significance or doesn't mean anything, but I just distinctly remember that it being funny.
Yeah. It has significance because you were having fun, you know?
Wow.
No, honestly, no. That game was amazing. I played hours, and every time someone came over, like, yeah, I remember we would play it forever. I used to just love becoming a person, and just when you're a kid too, your imagination used to run wild
in
with
full
games
role play
too.
mode. Yeah, you are an alien and you're blending in.
And do you remember doing that with Tony Hawk too? We would kind of do the free.
Yeah, we would. That's right.
We would just go to like free play, but then we would just. And I did this with a lot of people. Like that was just the thing. Like that was another game. It was just fun to role play as a kid, and like we just run around and like pretend we're doing things. Like I would go off
you would
the
add
skateboards.
just these weird arbitrary rules to games.
Yeah.
Or just your own
this weird storyline.
or your own layer of imagination, or you like let you image that you're part of like an underground skateboarding group, and when you're going to this location, you're meeting up with some people that want you to do like a certain task.
Exactly.
And you have all these ideas in your mind, and it feels so real when you're doing it too.
It's like now I couldn't even possibly get to that realm of thinking, but as a kid I remember getting so lost in your imagination while playing video games that it almost gave video games this extra layer of fun that like definitely
that
isn't even achievable now. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy video games now. I'm just saying I definitely remember just how far I used to get lost in just free play modes in games, like when there was no clear objective in the game, but just you being able to move around with your friends, you could just make something out of it.
No, Joe, it's actually a little bit strange.
Yeah.
I do fully agree with you. However, I find that like so if I smoke weed and play a game, which I rarely do, just because I just find weed draining in general. It's just mentally draining to me.
Yeah.
But if I do play a game, it does give me a little bit of that childlike eye again.
Yeah.
Just a little bit,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because it is true, man. Games were so fun when you were a kid because everything's so new and you're experiencing things for the first time.
Right.
And as you said, when you're like, if the game gives you an option to, as you said, blend in. If you're an alien, you blend in as a human.
Yeah.
You feel like you are doing that.
Right.
That when you're walking around, you're almost enjoying it because you're thinking, oh, all these people don't even realize I'm an alien. I'm just walking around and they don't even know it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, Binding of Isaac and weed, good combo. I played so many hours of that game.
Well, dude, we first found that game, we would just take turns for hours and hours. We'd both just like go back and forth and do rounds and watch each other.
To this day, I could just do a little run on it, and it just doesn't get old to me. I could still play it and have a good time.
Dude, I think when I logged about 100 hours into the original Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
And I think most of that was with you.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to take turns playing it all the time.
And at the time the game was so new too. We'd never really played it at all, so all the items were new. And I just remember it was so much fun. I even enjoyed watching. It was just fun.
Oh, exactly. And watching you do runs and stuff, like even taking turns was cool because what's that called? A rogue-like game is what it's called, right? When each run is kind of randomly generated, you find stuff. Yeah. So just seeing what your outcomes would be, just be like, oh, you get this item this run, that's cool. And then sometimes you would just get an awesome synergy of stuff.
Exactly. You'd have great runs or bad runs.
So even watching people, I think is fun because I'm like, oh wow, they're doing this.
Oh,
is
you
a
got
cool,
that upgrade.
Like this is a cool run. Like I'm like, oh, you lucked out this one. Or wow, you really this is
you're
shitty.
Getting owned. Yeah, you're barely holding on.
You're getting the worst items.
And you have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I've logged a good 200 hours on Afterbirth.
Right?
On Afterbirth. Maybe 300, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've checked, but I played the shit out of that.
No, dude, that was an awesome game.
Yeah.
No, and I miss that, man. I'm getting to the point now where I'm too lazy to learn new mechanics for new games.
Yeah.
I started playing them and they have the tutorial and they go, here's page 1 of 30, and I just go, I don't have the willpower. It's sad. It's pathetic. It really is. I should just get over it and just just learn new games again. But I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like a chore now.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
That video games are kind of a chore.
Life's a chore, man. No.
Jamie just immediately pulls out a cigarette and lights it.
Yeah.
Life's a fucking chore, man.
Life's a fucking chore.
At least I have something to take the edge off.
No, but I don't know. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, I feel the same way about a lot of things. Like, I don't even know what I do, man. Like,
I'm starting to question what I do with my spare time.
I know.
I don't feel like I'm doing anything.
I don't watch TV. What do I do as a hobby? As in, like, when people are just unwind. I do play video games, I guess. I've been playing GTA and stuff, I guess. But I'm usually very one track. I get into one thing. As far as, like, if there's a game I'm into, then I'm only playing that pretty much. And then I fizzle out of it. And then I stop playing games altogether for a long time. Yeah. And then it's kind of just, I'm on and off with stuff.
Do you know what feels amazing, though, Jamie?
Yeah.
Being comfortable with your thing.
Yeah.
That's one of the nice parts about being an adult.
Yeah.
Is once you have your element, you go, this is my regular game right now. This is my routine.
I can unwind.
It feels good.
Yeah.
I do this 3 times a week, and it's my favorite thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't need to change and experience new things anymore.
Not too high maintenance, I can unwind with whatever,
Jamie, if it isn't already obvious.
Yes.
Time's up.
It's looking like the time is up. All right. Well, thank y'all for listening.
I don't really know what to call this episode or what we did, but
I know. Sorry, I'm a big old dope for this one.
Okay, dopey.
Yes, I'm a minor. Don't sell me alcohol.
It's off to work we go.
All right, bye.